Welcome car lovers. For over a century, the motor car has been a symbol of personal liberty. It was a machine of steel, oil, and intent. But as we stand in the year 2026, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The industry is obsessed with silicon chips, vanity screens, and the quiet hum of progress. We must ask ourselves a difficult question. In our haste to reach the future, have we forgotten how to build a car that actually matters? To the man who remembers the weight of a real key and the smell of hot oil, the modern showroom can feel like a cold digital wilderness. However, even in this era of clinical efficiency, there are still engineering marvels that command our respect. These are the machines that refuse to go quietly into the night. These are the top 10 champions of 2026. Number 10 is a machine that challenges our very definition of luxury: the Lucid Gravity. For decades, the American luxury car was a barge soft wallowing and built with the structural integrity of a damp biscuit. The Gravity is different. It is an engineering marvel of packaging. While the marketing departments would have you believe it is a lifestyle accessory, the truth lies in its efficiency. It moves through the air with the grace of a falcon, defying the bulk of its 7-seat frame. The interior is vast, yet it lacks the tactile dignity of a traditional motor car. It is a world of glass and pixels. While the acceleration is formidable, it lacks the crescendo of a combustion engine. It is a remarkable achievement, certainly, but it feels like a very expensive refrigerator. It earns its place for its sheer technical audacity, but it lacks the soul required to climb any higher. It is a pass for the traditionalist, but a fascinating glimpse into a silent future. Moving to number 9, we find a name that carries more weight than the steel it is forged from: the Toyota Land Cruiser. In a world of fragile crossovers that struggle with a wet lawn, the Land Cruiser remains a steadfast servant of the earth. Toyota has wisely stepped back from the bloated opulence of previous years and returned to a silhouette that honors the FJ60 of the 1980s. It is honest, the doors shut with a mechanical finality that suggests it will still be running when the last satellite falls from the sky. On the road, it does not pretend to be a sports car. It is slow, deliberate, and remarkably comfortable. The interior is a triumph of usability over gimmicks. There are buttons, real, physical buttons that you can operate while wearing gloves. It does not try to be your friend or your smartphone. It simply tries to get you home. It is a future classic because it values durability over fashion. At number 8, we encounter the BMW M5. This has long been the gold standard for the man who needs to take his associates to lunch at noon and haunt a racetrack at 1. However, the 2026 model is a complicated beast. It has embraced hybridization, making it heavier than a Victorian house. The engineering truth is that it is a masterpiece of software managing physics. It is immensely powerful, capable of pinning your lungs against your Number 7 brings us to the Mercedes-AMG SL. For 60 years, the SL has been the choice of the understated gentleman, but Mercedes has recently struggled with its identity, burying its heritage under a mountain of neon lights and hyperscreens. The 2026 L attempts to correct the course. The silhouette is art. It is long, low, and possesses a purposeful stance that suggests speed even when stationary. Inside, however, the BS filter must be applied. The reliance on a massive central screen is a distraction, a gimmick that feels out of place in a car of this lineage. But when you find a winding road through the Cotswolds, the engineering shines through. The steering is precise, and the V8 engine provides a baritone soundtrack that no electric motor can replicate. It is a car of contradictions, a classic soul trapped in a digital cage, but it is still a magnificent way to cross a continent. 6th place is occupied by a quintessentially British icon, the Range Rover. It remains the only vehicle in the world that looks equally at home outside a palace or deep in a muddy field. The design is a masterclass in proportion and restraint. There are no unnecessary creases or fake vents. It is a monolith of good taste. Inside, the leather is of a quality that suggests the cows were massaged daily. It is arguably the quietest car on sale today, isolating the cabin from the chaos of the outside world with eerie perfection. However, one must be cynical about its longevity. The complexity of its air suspension and its myriad electronic systems remains a concern for the long-term owner. It is a magnificent machine to lease, but a terrifying one to own out of warranty. It is the ultimate expression of the good old days brought into the modern light, provided you have a secondary vehicle for when the sensors decide to take a holiday. As we enter the top 5, we find the Ferrari 12 Cylindri. The name is remarkably unimaginative, literally 12 cylinders, but the car itself is a work of profound mechanical art. In an era where the V12 engine is being hunted to extinction, Ferrari has produced a masterpiece of defiance. The styling is a deliberate nod to the 365 GTB F4 Daytona, avoiding the overly aggressive wings and spoilers of its rivals. It is a silhouette of pure elegance. To drive, it is to experience engineering truth. There is no turbocharger to muffle the sound, no hybrid motor to dilute the purity of the throttle. It is a visceral, screaming reminder of why we fell in love with cars in the first place. The interior is still too focused on touch-sensitive surfaces, which are a nuisance, but when the engine reaches 9,000 revolutions per minute, you simply do not care. It is a masterpiece, though its astronomical price makes it a dream for most, and a garage queen for the rest. Number 4 is the Bentley Continental GT Speed. This is the car for the man who understands that true power is whispered, not shouted. For 2026, Bentley has moved to an ultra-performance hybrid powertrain, replacing the legendary W12. One might expect this to be a tragedy, but the result is remarkable. The torque is mountainous. It moves its significant weight with an effortless grace that feels like the hand. The bronze medal goes to the Porsche 911T Hybrid. Many purists screamed sacrilege when Porsche announced a hybrid 911. But this is not a hybrid designed to save the polar bears. It is a hybrid designed to make the 911 faster and more responsive. The engineering is surgical. It handles with a confidence that borders on the telepathic. The pothole that would unsettle a lesser car is dismissed with a single sophisticated thump. It is a car you can use every single day, and then take to the track on Sunday to humiliate people in supercars. The interior has lost its physical ignition key for a starter button. A minor tragedy, but the ergonomics remain the best in the business. It is a buy. It is a future classic. It is the best sports car in the world, refined for a new era without losing its fundamental identity. In second place, we find the Rolls-Royce Spectre. This is perhaps the most significant car the marque has built since the original Silver Ghost. For a century, Rolls-Royce has chased the waftability of total silence. In 2026, they have achieved it by embracing electric power. This is the only application where the lack of an engine is a total upgrade. The Spectre does not drive, it glides. It ignores the road entirely, smoothing out the world as if it were ironed by a giant. The presence of the car is immense. It is a cathedral on wheels. The interior avoids the tech-heavy look of its competitors, opting instead for starlight headliners and the finest wood veneers known to man. It is a machine of immense dignity. It is the pinnacle of comfort and the ultimate statement of success. It is not a gadget, it is a monument. And finally, we reach the champion. The number 1 car of 2026 is the Aston Martin Vanquish. Why? Because it is the only car on this list that feels like it was built by enthusiasts, for enthusiasts, without compromise. It features a twin-turbo V12 that produces a staggering amount of power, wrapped in a body that is, quite simply, the most beautiful silhouette on the road today. It does not have the clinical coldness of a Porsche, or the vulgarity of a modern BMW. It has presence. It has heart. The interior is a revelation. Aston Martin has listened to the critics and returned to physical switches for the most important functions. It is a tactile, mechanical joy. On the road, it is a grand tour of the highest order, comfortable, confident, and soul-stirringly fast. It represents the pinnacle of what a motor car should be. A marriage of art and engineering that makes you feel alive every time you open the garage door. In a world of disposable gadgets, the Vanquish is a permanent statement of excellence. It is the definitive champion of 2026, and that is the truth of the matter. We live in an age of transition, where the battle between the screen and the steering wheel is being fought in every boardroom in Stuttgart and Detroit. Most of these cars will eventually be forgotten, replaced by a newer version with a faster processor, but a few, the Land Cruiser, the 911, and the Vanquish, remind us that a car can be more than transportation, it can be a legacy. Choose wisely, for the era of the true machine is drawing to a close, and these are the last great sentinels of the road. That's the way it is.